is a super athlete. In triathlon and endurance sports, her reputation is legendary. Several times national and world champion. It's no wonder she's just earned the title US Athlete of the Year for the 6th time. For Danelle, giving up is not an option, as paramedic John Marshall is about to discover.
My first meeting of Danelle, she just ran 60 miles across open desert in 115-degree temperature before she got to the checkpoint that I was working at. This small-framed woman comes into the med booth. Her feet are blistered, she's completely dehydrated, somewhat delirious, and I said, hey, we would highly recommend we start an IV in you, get some fluids back in you.
You're gonna need this.
No, just a drink and some duct tape.
This kind of sets the mode for my involvement with Danelle. I learned that this girl, right from the get-go, was as hard as nails. This was a true athlete to the fullest extent. They say to be a great adventure athlete, first and foremost, you have to be hard to kill. Danelle was hard to kill.
It was December 13th, 2006, and I was at my house in Moab. The winter season was approaching, and I was wanting to get in shape for the snowshoe racing season and also to compete in some winter triathlons.
Oh, hey, Tess. Give me a minute, okay? Just give me a minute.
So I was to head out on about a 2 or 2.5 hour run, and I kind of had one of my favorite loops in mind. I hadn't done this loop in a while.
Okay, all right. Okay. I get the message. All right, let's go.
One of the world's premier extreme sports athletes, Danelle is known for staggering feats of endurance in adventure racing. Single and living alone, her constant companion is her dog, Taz.
I got Taz from a puppy rescue. I remember going to the shelter and there were several puppies there. This one puppy sort of stood out.
Hi.
Because he was energetic and he liked to run around and he was hyper and he had this real playful attitude about him that I liked. I sort of connected with that.
Look at this one.
Oh, you're cute.
Oh.
And I remember some other lady went up to Taz and was holding him. And I looked at this lady and that's my dog. He wasn't my dog just yet, you know, but I just knew that he was the one. And then so I kind of kept an eye on this lady while she was playing with Taz. And as soon as she set him down, I snatched him up and said, I want this one. There's something that drew me to Taz, that I knew that he was the one for me.
I need you to help me.
With Taz for company, Danelle is planning a routine training run through Moab's backcountry. It's a beautiful but rugged wilderness where few people ever go.
It was a sunny day, but it was cool, probably temperatures in the 30s, around 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I had my kayak on top of my truck, hopefully planning on going kayaking later that afternoon. I didn't see any bikers or hikers out, just myself and Taz.
Come on, Taz.
I brought my water bottle. At the last minute, I thought, well, I'll grab this little waist pack so I don't have to carry the water bottle in my hand. That way I could just put the water bottle in the waist pack. And it was a small waist pack with 2 zipper pockets. I didn't know what was in those pockets. I just grabbed it, and whatever was in there from my previous run was in my waist pack. And I headed out on the run.
Let's go.
I had absolutely no idea that my life was going to completely change that day.
Come on, boy.
Despite its beauty, the backcountry surrounding Moab can be hostile and dangerous. Just in the last month, 2 men have fallen victim to the deadly terrain, found frozen to death in the bitter desert night. Search and rescue teams are called out regularly to save hikers in distress. But Danelle is fearless. 6 times the winner of US Athlete of the Year, she thrives on pushing herself to the limit in the most extreme environments.
I was actually in pretty good physical condition that I usually could push myself right to that limit of pain, but not quite go over it. It actually almost feels good, like you get into the rhythm, get into the flow.
Out for that.
Danelle's training route is not marked on any map. And with every step, she's heading further into uncharted territory.
All of a sudden, the next thing I know, Taz was ahead of me, and my foot slipped out from under me. I almost immediately knew that I was in trouble because I couldn't stop. And I was moving fast at that point. And then the last 20 feet were an overhang. Free fall. I definitely had time to see my life kind of spin through my head and think about maybe I wasn't going to see another day. And then boom. Oh my God, I'm still alive. I didn't know what I had done to myself, but I knew I had hurt myself pretty bad.
It's a horrendous fall. The impact has shattered Danelle's pelvis into pieces, leaving her skeleton severed in 2. There's nothing but soft tissue connecting her legs to the rest of her body. Super athlete Danelle goes into survival mode.
Somehow my brain didn't allow itself to think too deeply about what had happened.
Despite her terrible injuries, Danelle's endurance training kicks in, and she's determined to keep moving.
So what I did was I took my right hand and put it on my right leg, and my left hand and put it on my left leg, and I could feel my legs. And so I knew that I wasn't paralyzed. And my next reaction was, I gotta get out of this canyon. I gotta get back to my truck, and I gotta get home, or I gotta get to the hospital.
Incredibly, despite her shattered pelvis, the endurance athlete tries to stand up and run out of the canyon. But with her skeleton effectively in 2, Danelle's legs cannot support her body. Unable to walk or run, she's facing her worst nightmare. Her legs useless, she's alone on a ledge, separated from her dog, Taz. Danelle is stranded in 1,000 square miles of barren, uninhabited wilderness.
I knew that I needed to get out of that canyon. The temperatures were cold, and it was the middle of winter. But I couldn't stand up, I couldn't walk. So I just started dragging myself.
With her skeleton broken in 2, shattered at the pelvis, Danelle is critically injured. Most people would be in agony, but super-fit athlete Danelle is experiencing an enormous adrenaline surge, masking the pain. But the problem for Danelle now is which direction to go. She's no idea if there's a safe way down from the ledge. Taz comes to Danelle's rescue.
Come on. There you are.
Taz has found her way back through the canyon to reach her. She is no longer alone, but Taz's appearance brings more than comfort.
Since he had gotten to where I landed, I knew that there was a route out. So I used him as my guide and kind of dragged myself where he went, along the shelf and then back down to the bottom of the canyon.
With incredible determination, Danelle follows Taz to the bottom of the canyon and now plans to pull herself back to her truck. But as the adrenaline surge wears off, the pain is starting to take a hold.
It would take all my energy to sort of drag myself an inch. And then the pain would be so bad I would have to regroup and try it again.
Time is working against Danelle. She knows the dangers of this remote wilderness, and that if she doesn't reach safety by nightfall, the sub-zero temperatures could kill her. With her energy slipping away, Danelle remembers her waist pack.
I didn't know what was in that waist pack because I didn't check before I left. And in one of them was a little gel pack, sugar pack, that endurance athletes often bring with them to help provide energy for running.
Eating the gel provides Danelle with a much-needed boost, as well as a moment to reflect on the colossal task she's taking on. But her progress is excruciatingly slow.
At one point, I looked back at my tracks, and I could just see where I dragged myself through this canyon. It took me probably 2.5 hours just to get to the bottom, dragging myself inch by inch. The canyon that took me maybe 2 or 3 minutes to walk up.
The only comfort Danelle has is her dog's constant companionship.
Taz was with me this whole time. I think he probably realized that I was injured. I think he was kind of wondering why I was going so slow.
As the winter sun sets, the temperature is dropping below freezing. Daylight is fading fast, and with it, any chances of getting out of the canyon before nightfall. Despite Danelle's superhuman efforts, she's far from safety. Too tired to go on, she stops for the night. But she knows that this desert has a habit of claiming victims in the hours of darkness.
It was comforting having Taz there. And I also knew that if there was to be, say, a coyote or something that was to come into the canyon, that he would bark and scare any wild animals away.
But Taz's presence won't save her from the bitter cold of the savage desert night.
With the injuries to my midsection, it was a little bit uncomfortable if he got too close to me, because it would kind of move my bones around. I was really hopeful that I was going to make it out of there, or that somebody was going to get me. I should have realized right then that I was about to die and that I was in the middle of nowhere and nobody knew where I was.
With hours to go before dawn, the temperature is already well below freezing, and it's still falling.
It was bone chilling. You know, it'd be like laying in a freezer. My feet were frozen and they got frostbite.
Okay, we've got a missing persons, potential injury in the Amasa back area.
John Marshall is in charge of the search team out in the field.
Our organization is set up that individual officers take turns being the officer in charge on any particular day. That day just happened to be my day.
Female, brunette, about 5'4", 120 pounds, name Danelle Balenji.
Balenji?
You know her?
And instantly, in my mind, the story completely changed. We're not looking for a lost tourist, somebody who just wandered off the trail. We're looking for somebody that's got more backcountry experience than your average John Doe on the street. And if this person's been missing in the backcountry for 2.5 days, they're not just lost. This person's in some serious trouble.
While critically injured and exposed to freezing conditions, Danelle's endurance training has helped keep her alive for over 2 days. But the physical ordeal is wearing her down mentally.
I was pretty close to dying at that point. And I had lost hope that anybody would find me.
Now, after 51 hours, her intense willpower is breaking down. Despite increasing risk of hypothermia, she can no longer stop herself from urinating. With night bringing colder temperatures, Danelle knows that without a miracle, she'll likely freeze to death by morning. The extreme athlete has finally given in.
That's when I started to think about my life and everything that I did. I started to think about my life and everything that I did and everything that I still wanted to do. And I thought about my family and my friends and how much they meant to me. And I thought I was gonna die. I mean, I was dying.
Tess. 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 I need you to help me.
Taz was there with me, and he was all I had at that point. And I said to him, I said, Taz, I'm hurt, I need help. Can you go get help?
Tess. I need you to help me. Go get me help. Tess, go find some help for me, please. Go. This is my last chance, Tess. Go!
And he turned around and he took off.
Taz is her only hope. But Danelle knows that by sending him away, she may now face death alone. With little time to spare, Moab Rescue Operations Chief John Marshall arrives at the Amasa backcountry search area first.
The backcountry here in southeastern Utah doesn't play any favorites. It's a beautiful, awe-inspiring landscape, but it also is deadly.
There's a dog down there. You see him?
Yeah, I got him.
Taz has found his way out of the canyon and is heading towards the search party. But as he races towards them, John fears the worst.
I know my dog will never leave my side as long as I have a pulse. So to see her dog down in the bottom of the canyon for the first time, my heart dropped. It says, oh, this can't be a good sign. The dog has left its master.
As the rest of the search party arrives, Taz reaches the top of the canyon. But he doesn't stop, and his behavior is bewildering, particularly to experienced tracker Bego Gerhardt.
This bedraggled dog came running down the Jeep road and right through us. The odd thing was he didn't really want anything to do with us. Like he didn't walk up to the first person and go, "Feed me."
John Marshall knows that Taz could hold the key to finding Donnell. But standard procedure dictates that he cannot delay the rescue operation any further.
Bego, you take the Massaback Trail and the ATV.
Bego Gerhardt is under no illusions about the enormity of the task facing them.
It's usually you're going to look for somebody that's just out after dark, or they broke their ankle and you pretty much know where they are. But this was a full-on search, had no idea within, say, 20 square miles, which is huge in this country with all the canyons and cliffs. 20 square miles can take a long time to cover.
It's time they simply don't have. As evening approaches, temperatures are already dropping. But Bego Gerhardt can't rush, for fear of missing a clue that may lead him to Donnell.
As we went up, every time there was a sandy place, I'd look in the sand for tracks. And pretty soon I thought I found some tracks that could be 2 days old, and there were dog tracks along with the shoe prints.
Back at the search and rescue base, John is now sure that Taz is trying to tell them something.
This dog was on a mission, so it's almost as if it ran around to say, "Hey, look at me, look at me. I'm going to get everybody's attention. Now I'll show you where she's at."
Where is he going?
All of a sudden, down in the bottom of the canyon, the dog reappears and headed back up the Massaback Trail. So I get on the radio and I radio over to the vehicles heading up the trail.
1T812 to 1T836. Hey, Bego, looks like the dog's coming your direction. Let him pass. Let's see where he's going.
I'm looking over my shoulder, and sure enough, Taz appears and takes off up over the hill. I'm going, you know, I think I should follow Taz for about 5 minutes just to see.
Okay, dog. Let's see what you know.
Time is running out. As nightfall approaches, a new threat to the rescue operation has emerged. Heavy snowfall is forecast, which Donnell couldn't hope to survive. Following Taz may now be the last chance of finding Donnell alive. Experienced mountain tracker Bego Gerhardt knows that Donnell's dog could be her only real hope of survival.
I know to pay attention to dogs because they know stuff. So when he ran up over the hillside, I had a very strong feeling of I better follow him for a few minutes.
As Taz leads Bego deeper into the canyon, the going becomes more treacherous. Bego must slow the ATV and risk losing the dog's trail. Donnell has no way of knowing that Taz has found help. She is resigned to dying out in the open. But when he returns, Donnell senses a change in his behavior.
Next thing you know, Taz came up and he came right by me and he went straight to the puddle and he started drinking from my puddle. I remember thinking, that's my lifeline, that's the only water I got. Can't you find a different puddle, Taz? But I couldn't, I couldn't say that to him, and I just pet him a few times and let him drink from the puddle. And his demeanor had changed a little bit. He had seemed to get a little bit of energy back. And then he lick my face again. And he was kind of wagging his tail a little bit, and it was sad for me to see him see this happy little dog that I was never going to be with. At the same time, I heard this other sound.
Help!
I wasn't hopeful because I'd been screaming help for 50 some hours straight, and nobody had come to help me.
Help!
And just about the time I thought I was going to run out of road, I heard this blood-curdling scream.
Help!
I'll never forget it. And had to be Danelle.
I can't move!
The sound got closer, and the engine cut out, and I start begging, desperate begging for help, explaining that I'm hurt, telling this person, you cannot leave, I need help, I need help.
Help! Help! Please help me!
It was the best moment of my life, because I knew right then that I was going to get a second chance. I knew I was going to make it.
And it was quite emotional, because not very often do you go on a rescue where somebody's life is really quite on the edge. The look on her face was one of relief, and then the tears came.
Next thing he said to me was, you got one good dog. And I just started crying. I just laid there and started crying.
I don't think any human could have survived another night in those temperatures.
Taz's extraordinary bond with Danelle has saved her life.
Taz certainly did make the difference in shaving hours or perhaps even days off of finding Danelle. And in this rescue, she didn't have hours or days to spare. She was on the brink as it was.
I knew Taz was a smart dog, but to be able to do what he did, this was a whole nother level of communication. Suddenly, my dog was taking care of me instead of me taking care of him. I look back on it now and I'm so grateful. He's truly a best friend.
Danelle is airlifted to hospital and undergoes emergency surgery to repair the severed vessels that have pumped 3 pints of blood into her pelvic cavity. Then there's a 6-hour operation to pin her shattered pelvis back together. It's touch and go whether she'll pull through.
When we get the reports back to her medical condition, and all the doctors were saying, she really shouldn't be alive with the massive amounts of blood loss that she had, the hypothermia, the frostbite, everything combined. She should have been dead days ago. But here it is 2.5 days later, and she's smiling.
But there's another shock waiting for Danelle when she gets to see her feet for the first time in 3 days.
Laying there in the hospital bed, and they had taken my shoes off, and I finally got a glimpse of my feet, and they were black from frostbite. Every single one of my toes and then part of my foot was black. With frostbite, you just have to give it time, and eventually over the next 24 hours, slowly but surely, the color started to come back in my toes, my feet, and so I knew I was gonna be able to, my feet were gonna be okay.
The prognosis for Danelle's fractured pelvis was not so reassuring.
The doctor said that the injuries in my pelvis were pretty extensive, so I didn't know if I was going to be wheelchair-bound the rest of my life or if I was going to be able to walk again.
Her life has been saved, but her body may be shattered beyond repair. Doctors fear she may never walk again. Against all the odds, the extraordinary determination that kept her alive in the canyon has now put her back on her feet again. After 6 hours in surgery and months of rehab, Donnell is up and running.
I'm still able to do what I love to do. It's taken several months of recovery and rehab, but I'm back out running again, running the trails. Taz and I go out almost every day.
And Taz has a new playmate.
My son he's really a gift, and every moment with him I appreciate. And I think I appreciate him even more, knowing that, you know, he may have never been if it wasn't for Taz and all the people that, you know, were there to help me survive that experience.
His pockets full, Brandon leaves his mobile behind.
We didn't think anything of it. We were only going to be gone a couple hours, or I guess so we thought.
At 10,834 feet above sea level, Mount San Jacinto is the second highest mountain in Southern California.
And as we're going up, she mentions, you know, this is mountain lion territory. There's also a lot of rattlesnakes in this area.
But as long as you stay on the trails, you should be okay.
Among the most rugged wilderness regions in the US, Mount San Jacinto is the second highest peak in Southern California. With no access road, the only way up or down is by cable car. And while temperatures can hit the 80s and 90s on the desert floor during May, the summit is still dusted with snow.
Somebody mentioned it's going to get cold because you're going up 8,500 odd feet and there's going to be a wind. So you might want to grab a sweatshirt or a jacket, something like that to have with you. So we got up to the top, about to head out for our walk. It was totally perfect. And I guess you just think, you don't have a care in the world at that point. We're the typical young couple in love. Seeing the snow, I decided, sneaking behind him, that I would mess with him.
Brandon.
What?
I just kind of turned to him and just nailed him right in the head with the snowball, and that point, it was on. It was just so fun, just throwing snowballs at each other in May.
Wait, stop. Listen.
What? What is it?
You hear that? Sounds like a waterfall. Don't get me mad.
So we headed off to go find this waterfall.
I can hear it. Can you see it yet?
Not yet.
Unused to this kind of environment, the city dwellers from Dallas, Texas, don't realize that the mountain is playing acoustic tricks on them. While the sound of the waterfall seems nearby, it is actually rebounding off the hard rock walls and echoing around the mountain.
It didn't sound far, but I guess, the sounds play with you, play with your mind, and play with your head.
Gotta be here somewhere.
Are we there yet? I mean, this is getting to be like a real hike.
A little further, Gina. Should be really cool.
We eventually did find the waterfall, which was not impressive.
Wow. It's not exactly Niagara Falls, is it?
Ow.
Did you get one?
Oh. Oh, maybe you don't want to see this one.
See? See it.
We took some pictures, which didn't turn out very well at all, and then decided to turn back.
Tom should be getting back. Come on. Yeah, we should. All right.
Gina and Brandon have 20 minutes to meet their tour party at the cable car station. But going back the way they came is not easy.
It seemed so simple when we walked off the path to get to the waterfall. It felt like all we did was around 2 boulders, behind a tree, and over the top of another boulder, and there it was. So we kind of, retraced our steps, and it was seeming to take much longer.
Hey, can you hear that?
This way. Can't be far.
We could hear voices, but we couldn't really match up with them.
It's now less than 10 minutes before the tour party leaves. Brandon and Gina can hear the other tourists, but they cannot find them.
This way.
We couldn't get to them. They seemed to be just right there, and we lost voices. We couldn't hear anyone else talking. And at that point, you kind of, okay, something might not be right here.
Meanwhile, the rest of the tour party has descended without Brandon and Gina and will soon return to the hotel.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Brandon and Gina now realize they've not only missed their rendezvous, they've lost their way back to the station. It's beginning to be a true test of their fledgling relationship.
You've got no idea where we are, have you?
Not exactly. But at least I'm looking for a way out.
He goes, you can sit there if you want to, but I'm gonna keep on moving. I think he wanted to be the big, strong, tough guy that's not scared in front of me.
At that point, it was probably important that I sent a little message of, okay, we can't panic. We have to stay focused on the task at hand.
Despite Brandon's determination to find the mountain station, the dense pine forests and steep rock faces block their path. They're tantalizingly close to the station, but they just can't see it.
I think we're close. We just need to go a little bit further this direction or this direction. We'll see something we recognize and we'll be fine. That went on for a while, and then I realized that no, I do think we're lost. And so at that point, we decided, okay, we have to start yelling for help.
Hey! Is anybody there? Hey! Hello?
We're too short. Must have taken a taxi back. Okay, let's go.
We've now passed the rendezvous time. Now we have a real problem. Okay, before it was something that was very manageable. Now it's sinking in. I think we have an issue.
As night falls, Gina and Brandon are lost in one of the most desolate and unforgiving parts of the Southern Californian wilderness. But even worse, no one knows they're missing. The most immediate danger for Brandon and Gina is hypothermia. Lightly dressed, they're at the mercy of the plunging mountain temperatures, which can drop well below zero at night. They must retain body heat, or frostbite, exposure, and eventual death may follow.
All we had was wind pants and windbreakers on, not any type of gear or something to prepare for this type of weather, or food or water or anything, because we originally had only intended to walk maybe a few hundred yards to take a picture and then head back to a mountain station. So we weren't hikers, we were tourists.
Brandon, I'm so cold.
It's okay, Gina, it's okay.
I really felt responsible. It's one thing to put yourself in a bad situation, but to put somebody else in a bad situation is tough to stomach. And so, you know, at one point, you know, Gina started to cry. She was very scared. And, you know, I started to just apologize. I'm so sorry for putting you in this situation. And she stopped me right there.
And I said, no, we're okay. We're in this together. We both took the wrong steps. We're both following each other here. We're okay. We're in this together. So I think at that point, he accepted that I was not blaming him by any means, that I was right there with him, that we were gonna get through this together.
You can't stay here. You'll freeze to death. You've got to move.
Where?
We passed a cave a little way back. It's better than being out here in the open. Come on. Come on.
Stumbling their way through the darkness, Gina and Brandon are aware of another very real mountain danger.
We had been warned that there's mountain lions and rattlesnakes in these mountains. We weren't really looking to see any wildlife. We were hoping we didn't see any wildlife at that point.
There it is.
Wait, don't go in there.
Why not?
I don't know, anything could be in there.
I can't see a thing.
I don't know if it was just a gut reaction or just instinct or how he knew to do it. He took my camera, which I thought was genius. I don't know how he thought of it.
Give me your camera.
Camera?
It's a flash, doesn't it?
Turn on there.
It's clear. There's nothing in there.
Although no longer out in the open, Brandon and Gina are still at the mercy of Mount San Jacinto's bitter chill.
Well, that night, yeah, it really got to a level cold that I've never experienced before. I'm looking at my watch, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking, okay, we have 7 more hours of this? You know, and we're already freezing, shivering, and how much longer can we endure this?
Brandon and Gina survive a long, cold night in their makeshift shelter. Exhausted, they've had nothing to eat or drink in the last 24 hours. Even so, Gina's mind is on more everyday anxieties.
This was by far the most awkward date I had ever been on in my life. Here I am with this guy I barely know, and I'm stuck. Now he's going to, smell my morning breath, and he's gonna see me without my makeup on, and I have dirty hair, and it's all those classic girl things you think of when you're in a new relationship.
Brandon's thoughts are on more practical matters.
In my mind, I'm going through a checklist, okay? There's a series of fail-safes. First off, the tour bus had a head count and a list of names, so they would have known we didn't make it back on the bus. Secondly, at dinner that night, some people from my firm would have noticed we're not there.
Unfortunately, the fail-safes have not triggered a search. With the convention winding down, Brandon's work colleagues have not noticed their absence.
Really hit our bodies.
Although they now have a means to collect water, starvation is having a dramatic effect on their health.
Our bodies are starting to tell us that they don't have much more. We had turned some type of a physical corner, and it was downhill.
Exactly what happened to John has been a mystery, until now.
When I was gathering water from this pool, I did notice something out of the ordinary, something that didn't seem right. I think really maybe part of me knew what it was, but the other part of me didn't want to know, at least not at that point in time.
For Brandon, the discovery of John Donovan's body is the last straw.
That's when I made the decision, I'm gonna light the whole place on fire, the whole damn place. And they have to see the smoke from that. We only have so many matches. We don't know how many times, if any, that we'll see another helicopter. So this was our last bullet. This was our last shot.
Come on, come on. Yes. Come on. Yes.
And it took much faster than I anticipated. Made sure the fire caught, and within 60 seconds, it's a large fire and getting larger.
No.
Brandon? Brandon?
To see the fire and the smoke and not see him, I'm losing it again. I'm like running around on this little rock trying to get every vantage point I can see to see if I can find him anywhere in there.
Where are you?
And finally, I see his little head moving through the mess, and the flames are getting bigger. And I'm just, hurry up, get up here, get to me.
Brandon, hurry! Faster! Run! Brandon, come on! Brandon! Brandon, hurry! Hurry!
I'm okay.
Just, come on. How do you not see this? Again, not a cloud in the sky, crystal blue skies, just amazing, beautiful. And all you can see are these huge plumes of just black smoke.
It burned for about 45 minutes or so, produced a great deal of smoke. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. And the thought was, I mean, they have to see this. I mean, if they don't see this, what next? We just kept on putting our hope in this. This is kind of this is our last shot. And we watched the fire begin to smolder, and eventually wasn't putting out nearly the same smoke. And it basically burnt itself out. And now about an hour's gone by, and we still don't hear anything. We don't see anything. And so the thought starts to creep in both of our minds of, that was our best shot. What are we going to do next? I'd always tried to be positive that we were going to find a way out. There's going to be a search for us. There's going to be something. We just have to keep, ourselves safe, and we're going to be okay. But now here we are, in a spot where we know somebody's died. And what are we going to do? You know, a lot of things run through your mind when you're really faced with, okay, this could be it. And it was the most beautiful sound we'd ever heard, because coming up from the valley floor is that sound of a helicopter. I think we both would have cried if we had tears, but we're both so dehydrated, we didn't have enough moisture in our body to come up with tears. But, you know, the pure joy of knowing you're gonna make it out.
We're hugging and we're kissing, and it's just, we know we're going home. It's just such a feeling of just pure joy that I don't even know how to formulate the words. I don't know what to even say. It's a pretty amazing feeling. And if we hadn't had that bag, there would have been no way out. And to know we're really going home after 4 days. I remember turning to him and saying, I said, you saved my life. Because he lit that fire. And if he hadn't lit it, I don't know. I hate to even think. I don't let myself think. I don't go there.
We're just so thankful to John Donovan for you know, his sacrifice. And you know, his last action, even not being on this earth anymore, was helping 2 people. So, certain people just have a way of leaving their mark.
John Donovan's remains were recovered 3 weeks later. The Navy veteran was buried with full military honors. Gina and Brandon stayed together for 2 years after the ordeal, and then separated.